I found the video that I was talking about last night, so I'm going to play it for y'all so y'all can see exactly what I was talking about.
Back now, Van Jones, Angela Rye, and Bob Beckel. Okay, so let's continue our conversation here. So, Van, I asked you earlier, I said, and you brought up triangulation and all that. I asked you earlier if Bill Clinton was trying to, if he did it intentionally, if he was trying to pivot towards a general, turn this towards a general for Hillary Clinton, maybe even trying to pick up some conservative votes. I don't know.
Look, I can't get inside of his head, and some people are saying this is a part of the strategy. You know, Bill Clinton did this despicable thing in 1992 and attacked a young rapper named Lisa Williamson, that also Sister Souljah.
Sister Souljah. Let's play that. Let's play that, and then we'll talk about it. Here's the Sister Souljah moment that they call it. Here it is. It's coming. There it is.
Just listen to this. What she said. She told the Washington Post about a month ago, and I quote, "If black people kill black people every day, why not have a week and kill white people? So you're a gang member and you normally kill somebody, why not kill a white person?" Last year she said, "You can't call me or any black person anywhere in the world a racist. We don't have the power to do to white people what white people have done to us. And even if we did, we don't have that low-down, dirty nature. If there are any good white people, I haven't met them. Where are they? Right here in this room. That's where they are." I know she is a young person, but she has a big influence on a lot of people. And when people say that, if you took the words white and black and you reversed them, you might think David Duke was giving that speech.
That was a turning point for his bid for the White House.
Well, listen, first of all, Lisa Williamson was completely taken out of context. She was trying to explain what other people were thinking, what other people were saying. She was trying to be a translator. He knew that. He took it out of context, and he used that to send a message. That was, by the way, done at Jesse Jackson's rally with the young woman sitting there, her career being destroyed, sitting right next to him. He did that to show white America that he could stand up to Jesse Jackson, he could stand up to black activists. And the same, and what that did, I tell you, I was at that time 23 years old. At that time, I was a very moderate Democrat. He pushed me out of the Democratic Party and a whole generation of African Americans who felt like we were being used as toilet paper to come to us for the vote, but then also all of these kind of racially coded moves that he did. And it hurt a lot of people. And then he went from that speech to the White House, where he went with this crime bill, which did so much damage.
So bring it back today. Bring it back to today for us.
And so tonight, you have a lot of African Americans and people who understand these issues angry and hurt and disappointed and shocked that a Bill Clinton, all these years later, would do a similar move. And if it's a calculated strategy to chase white votes at the expense of young people who are hurting because their communities have been devastated by excessive incarceration. I don't like criminals and I don't like crime, but the way that the police have responded in our communities has hurt us. And let me say one more thing, Don. I'm watching now heroin being treated with compassion when crack was treated the opposite way. I'm watching white communities devastated by heroin, and they are held. And what can we do? Both parties, how can we help you? We understand it's a health issue, but 20 years ago when it was crack, it was sending the cops to put everybody in prison. This is why people are upset tonight, Don, and he's wrong. And he should apologize and not do a triangulated half apology. Don't go back down this same road, because we're not going to have it this time.
Okay, Ben. Bob, this is your issue, addiction and this issue with the Democrats. Because if they deflect, I want you to talk about this, because if black voters defect from the Clintons, I mean, where do they go? Is it Bernie Sanders? Is that the only viable option?
Yes, it is Bernie Sanders.
But listen, the fact is that it is very true that not only was crack ignored, but if you had crack, you spent more time in jail than if you had powder cocaine. Same amount. Which is ridiculous. Now, I happen to be involved in the heroin opiate project now with my foundation in California, and it is a critical thing that needs to be done. But I also have sat in prisons. I've lived in a crack house myself, and I can tell you this, that if you don't believe that we're not painting brushes here. If you don't believe there's 2,000, 3,000, or 4,000 predators out there who are black, who are taking advantage of these kids and poisoning them, then you're kidding yourself.
Bob, let me talk to you now. Look, yes, there are bad things that are happening in our communities. It's the label of super predator that was so dehumanizing. That label became the grease to pass all of this stuff.
So Van, I know where you're going. You're right. You're right. Okay, but listen to this. Where do we go from here? And I want Angela. I don't know which one of you wants to wrap it up because I have to go. We've gone on a long time with this. So where do we go from here? Hillary Clinton has apologized for it. She told me in the debate that it was wrong, that the 1994 crime bill was wrong. Her support of it was wrong. Using the term super predator was wrong. She'll never use it again. So now what? Now what?
So Hillary Clinton rolled out a robust criminal justice reform plan when she launched this campaign. And I think they need to get back to the heart of that. Bill Clinton needs to stop trying to defend his legacy. And if he wants to be helpful to his wife as a surrogate, he needs to be knocking on doors and staying off the mic unless he can let go of his ego.
Is this a mortal wound for them, Angela?
Say that
for the
again.
campaign? Is this a tough blow to the campaign?
It is a tough road, but I think that they can scale it. I think that there are people like Bob who agree with him who are also black. They're all in my Twitter feed. But I still think that there is a substantial...
I see it now on social media saying,
that's
yes,
right.
they're
There's
predators.
a substantial number of people who also find this language offensive, and they find the results of that 1994 mass incarceration bill offensive because they've lived through it. They have to let it go. They've got to change course, and they should pick up where Barack Obama left off.
Yeah.
And Bill Clinton should stop saying things
run.
like he's not a change maker. He actually is, and Bill Clinton needs to follow suit.
I appreciate your candor so much. I love having you guys on and your honesty. Van, thank you. Angela, thank you. Bob.
And this is what I was telling y'all about last night. So I'm gonna upload it all into one video. Finally, this is how I feel right now. I'm hyped. This is how I feel right now. Like y'all don't really understand this. This weekend, Black Lives Matter. Well, not even this weekend because it's still early. It's still like the later half of the week. Yesterday, I think it was. Black Lives Matter confronted Bill Clinton at a rally about the 90s crime bill that they passed. The bill that started the mass incarceration, the increase in police force, whether or not they were good or bad for the black community, going in and just arresting everybody. Destroying the community. It was insult to injury. The fact that the black community was already struggling with drugs, with the crack epidemic, and then they put the thumb of the police down on the backs of our community and broke what little strength that we had left, destroyed the community, destroyed it. And finally, the Black Lives Matter community targeted the right individuals, not Senator Sanders, but they target the right individuals, the Clintons, the ones who were at fault, the ones who had everything to do with police brutality and the escalation of the bad relationship between the police and the African American community. Everything to do with it. And finally, I just got finished watching CNN. I just saw the story where they brought Van Jones on. The only African American on CNN who actually understands and has a reasonable opinion about politics and policy and which candidates he supports. The only one that gave Senator Sanders a fair assessment came on today. And he went straight for Bill Clinton's jugulars. He went straight for the big dog's jugulars. Told him take him off the campaign. The comments that he made to Black Lives Matter regarding their concern for the actions of Hillary and Bill with their support for the 90s crime bill and the use of the term super predators to describe black youths gets to the core of the issue of these blue dog Democrats, these conservative Democrats that are willing to say and do whatever is politically advantageous to get elected. That means if black lives aren't politically advantageous at the time, then that is not the appeal that they will make. They will make a pitch to the right wing and sell us short. And the only reason why now black lives seem to matter so much is because without the black votes that Clinton took from the South and the black votes that she needs going forward in New York, New Jersey, Maryland, Pennsylvania. She's not going to have a prayer. And they just did something on CNN that I just never thought that they had the conscience to do. Of course, you had Don Lemon sitting there trying to protect Bob Beckel, and you had Van Jones going for Bill and Beckel's neck, and the whole thing dissolved into a conversation about African Americans killing each other in Chicago and whether or not that gets any attention. It's typical Fox News talking point. Of course, Beckel couldn't stop himself from going there, because when you get down to being beaten in your own argument in regards to race and criminal justice, the only thing that you can fall back on are the Fox News talking points that get drilled into your head every day that make you look like a racist. So the woman, I can't remember, I don't know what her name is, but I think that her political passions get inflamed, and she kind of just goes off. Like, in the past, she said some questionable things about Bernie Sanders and his support from a nursing union in South Carolina. The nurses were all white women or something like that, and so her support went to Hillary Clinton, and that didn't make any sense. And I understand now that even she knows that that doesn't make any sense, because in this instance, she had no choice but to go along with Van in condemning Hillary and Bill. She literally said the words, everything that has to do, like, I want to find this interview and add it to this video and re-upload it when I get the chance. But for now, I'm going to put this up raw just so you guys can see my reaction. I am just hype right now. Like, I am just hype right now, because finally, instead of the Black Lives Matters group going after Sanders in such a fantastic way like they did, and I did a video about that I'm going to put in the description below, but they actually went after Hillary, which is where they should have been the whole time. They should have been going after Hillary the whole time, because of her lack of credibility on these issues. She needs to be genuine and concerned for our lives. She needs to explain to us why she had the positions that she had, and explain us why that she's wrong, and really prove to me that even though you took money from the private prison industry, which made their money by locking me up and taxing my white counterparts to keep me in jail, and I say that figuratively because I've never been to jail, locking my brothers up, I should say. We need to get this this clip added in. I'm gonna stop the video here, but finally, that's all I have to say. Good job, Black Lives Matter. Good job. Y'all making me proud. I was worried at first when y'all went for Sanders' neck way back when he was in Seattle, but thank you guys for making it count now, because now you're starting the discussion that needs to be started. Now this is going to help the black community really see the difference between Sanders, who was on the floor of the Senate fighting against the crime bill that he was forced to vote for because they bundled it in with the assault weapons ban and the bill for violence against women. But he made his intentions clear. He made it clear that he was against simply putting down harsh prison sentences on people, putting the thumb of the government's executive forces and the police departments on the black community without assisting us, without giving us better jobs, without helping us get better educated, without helping us get better housing, without helping us get rising incomes, but simply to just come down on us, you know, in such a way, while at the same time cutting social benefits like welfare, being tough on blacks. That was the whole thing. That was the real policies of the Clintons in the 90s. Being tough on blacks because it was politically advantageous to do so. That is what Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton were all about. Putting us in jail. Super predators. Putting us in jail. Cutting off the spigot as far as, oh, you don't have any jobs, and so now you have to resort to crime? Well, I guess we're not going to look out for you anymore. No bread and water for you. Starve. welfare reform. That's what it's about. That's why I can't support Hillary Clinton. This rabbit hole goes deep, and I see right through the superficial veneer, the fake veil that they want to put over our eyes and keep us voting against our best interests. And I, an informed African-American Bernie bro, am not going to fall for it. Review Hunter. Find that video of CNN and somebody link it in the comments so I can re-edit these videos. And you guys will see what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty good at when I watch things live. I know when they're going to become a big story. Y'all are going to see this clip of CNN somewhere online. It just happened now, so this is my raw reaction. So like, comment, subscribe.
Mr. Van Jones, did he get a talking to?
Well, he definitely got a talking to. Basically everybody that I know either got to him or tried to get to him or was online. But let me just say this. First of all, that was I don't want to go back to the bad old days of the Clinton. That was a triangulated apology. We had triangulation all through the 90s. You can't just give a straight apology. We're triangulating on apologies. They're not even in the White House yet. I was the guy, Don, and you know I was the guy when they said they're going to bring Bill Clinton back. I said, let the big dog bark. I can't wait. I love this guy. I want to hear from him. He's great. They said he's going to make mistakes. I said, I don't care. I take it back. Put the big dog in the doghouse. That was horrible. It wasn't just the tone of what he said, the content of what he said. That super predator tag was a racial dog whistle that did untold damage. He's got to know that. He's not a dummy.
So you think it's more than off message? He didn't pick this fight intentionally, right?
Hey, listen, I don't know if it was intentional, not intentional. It was stupid. It was wrong. It was mean-spirited. And I'm going to tell you right now, you don't want Black Lives Matter to go to war with the DNC or to go to war with the Clintons over this. There's no excuse in the world for Bill Clinton to be yelling at those young people and defending the indefensible.
Plan. I think it'll work. She recognized.
Okay, I'm back now with my panel, and we're talking about Bill Clinton's, the former president's, comments yesterday to Black Lives Matter protesters. Yes, I agree. Black Lives Matter, very important. But I asked the question of, and I think this is what Bob was trying to say, where are the people who were shouting down presidential candidates on both sides of the aisle for kids who are gunned down innocently, for people who are killed every single night? And explain that to our audience.
I think a couple of things. One is, that's the gun control movement. That is what folks are standing for. Whether you're talking about Lucia McBath, who's Jordan Davis's mother, who's standing with other moms whose kids have been lost to gun violence, whether it was from a gangster, as Bob said, or it was from a rogue police officer or a vigilante. It's the same thing. And so that is a battle that there are bills that have been proposed. We couldn't even get a background checks bill cleared through the Senate, and that should have had bipartisan support.
Van,
That
it doesn't get covered, but you say it happens every day. I don't.
Yeah,
Go
listen,
ahead.
there are stop the violence organizations all over. You can go to any city and you can find multiple stop the violence organizations. They go every about that. But when there's a police thing, yes, we get more attention for that. But I got to say something now. This does not make any sense. Bill Clinton himself, just months ago, took this off the table. Hillary Clinton said that this was a bad thing. Bill Clinton then, under pressure, it turns out he thinks it's a good thing to call children super predators. He defended the indefensible, racially coded term super predators. We thought that had been taken off the campaign. They put it back in play. That is horrible.
So he's hurting her now instead of helping her.
And he won't apologize.
Yeah.
Well, can you tell me what the value of using your energy, which is so well used in city councils, the rest of it, against Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton? I mean, I understand.
That's not what he said. That's not what he said. His point was that black people are organizing on all levels to stop gun violence and have for years, whether the cameras are covering it or not.
I think that
the
I
point
agree with
remains. The point remains that this is Bill Clinton's bill. He signed it into
Angela,
law. I know
again, and so listen, I agree with you, and I know about those organizations, and I have worked in local news, and they don't get coverage. But what Black Lives Matter has figured out is that they get the attention because they go where the cameras are. They go to the presidential rallies, and other people are not doing that. Is it time for people to do that as well, to draw some attention to that?
Hey, Don, we can critique the strategy of black activists. I want to critique the strategy of the Clintons who wanted to go back into the White House, and if they cannot, the base vote of this party is the black vote. We give not 50%, not 60%, not 70%, not 80%, 92% of our vote to this party. I've never seen a Republican go on TV and insult their base voters. Their base voters are white evangelicals. They treat white evangelicals with total respect. They would never, ever have a Republican candidate, front-runner, spouse, stand up and disrespect white evangelicals at anything. And yet Bill Clinton feels like he is free to stand up there and say not just mean things or rude things, but content-free, racially, to defend super predators? To defend that term? That's wrong. It's wrong.
You think that a vast majority of the African-American community agrees with that about predators? They live with them every day.
Not that.
Wow. Wow. Did that just really? Bob,
yes.
That is not true. No, it's not true. I'm not going to sit here and allow you to call black people predators. I'm just not going to do it.
I'm not calling Brad, and neither was Bill Clinton. He was talking about people who are drug dealers and shoot people.
In 1996, and that's what he defended yesterday, although he tried to walk it back today. We have to start acknowledging at some point why the crime existed in communities like this anyway. Where were the jobs?
It would be a good idea if you didn't take people who were been very strongly in support of Black Lives Matter and
don't white explain to us why we should be grateful to the Clintons. Hold on a second.
I'm not going to be grateful to anyone who disrespects people who look like me. I'm not okay with people who look like me being called predators and inherently violent and playing into that big dangerous rhetoric, particularly in this campaign cycle. It is time out for that. It is 2016. If they were wrong in 1994, they're still wrong today, and we reap the consequences in unbearable ways. These communities and families have been ravaged. That is why a child who was born in 1994 could go to a rally tomorrow or yesterday and say to Bill Clinton, enough is enough. You jailed my brothers and my sisters and my uncles and my fathers and my mothers, and you need to answer for this because we are not predators. That language has to die.
Who in the world said you were predators?
Bill Clinton.
No, wait a minute. He said there are predators out there who are drug dealers. I know a lot of them, and they kill people.
Hey, listen, nobody's up here defending drug dealers and killers. The problem
but those are what we're talking about. When we talk about predators.
No.
If Bill Clinton says that some of these people who were incarcerated spent too much time in jail, and they spent so much time in jail that they wasted the resources that would have educated them and employed them, there's something wrong with that system.
Stand by. I want you guys to hold that thought. We're going to go longer with this conversation right after this break. Don't go anywhere.